You are throwing a grand party. Celebration time. Think in your mind the names of your 3 best friends that will invite to that party. Done? Let me now tell you the names of my 3 best friends whom I shall invite to the party. Uncertainty, challenges, conflicts. They are always by my side, be it my good times as well as my bad times. Despite my best efforts of the last 60 years, every day some problem or the other comes up. Not just that, I don't know which problem is going to come my way the very next moment. I don't think I've ever been able to work as per my calendar. Never. Not just that, a strategy which worked yesterday becomes irrelevant and ineffective today. It is a dark hole. My first 10 years in corporate is testimony to that. So horrifying. Problems, conflicts, politics, betrayal. I have truly experienced the dark hole. I don't want to bore you today with my many sad stories, but I'll definitely talk about the jewel in the crown. I was once forced to resign without a job in hand. It was made to look like a resignation, but in fact it was a termination. Do you want to know why? Because I was used as a pawn in the power play between 2 of my bosses, and I had to pay a price. And to explain my situation better, I will narrate one incident which happened in January 2000. At that time, I was reporting to 2 bosses, the unit administrative boss and the corporate functional boss. They were always at loggerheads, power play. One day, a senior management team came from corporate. And the finance director gave me a public dressing down for signing a high-value purchase order. He questioned my logic of signing that purchase order. Now at that point, I just couldn't remember which purchase order is he talking about. But I did not have the courage to say, sir, I'll check and get back to you. Out of fear, I froze. And the only word which came out of my mouth meekly was sorry. Later, I went to check which purchase order did he talk about. And to my horror, I saw that the purchase order was signed by my functional boss. And all through that meeting, he was sitting next to me. He did not utter a single word. He was happy to throw me under the bus. And when I confronted him later about this, you know what he did? He dismissed me casually. Hey, Ashish, these things happen in corporate. Just learn to deal with it. How would you feel if somebody betrayed you like this? I'm very sure The finance director went back with a very poor impression about me, and that was one of the influencing factors to my forced resignation. The fact was, my functional boss wanted to get back to my administrative boss by sacrificing me at the altar. He thought I was getting close to that administrative boss. Every day in my life, I encountered the dark hole. In fact, I have now realized that life is primarily about dealing with people. And each person is unique and different with their styles. And as many people join and come to the world or the industry, it's going to get actually more complex with every day. My 6-month joblessness hit me very hard. And it made me receptive to embrace change. And I did. Fast forward today, I had an IT organization. This is my 20th year in the organization and 14th year at the helm. The company has grown significantly under my leadership. I have already authored 2 books on leadership. I am also a process consultant to many companies. The question then is, how did this evolution happen? Well, the evolution happened when I learned to embrace change through 3 important triggers. You see, at that time, it was a question of survival for me. You either survive or perish. So I was forced to do a lot of learning and self-enrichment. I was forced to. I had to learn a lot, and also I started implementing those learnings. And in fact, I started getting results. Let me explain my 3 triggers to you in a very simplistic way through another incident which happened early on in my corporate life. In fact, that was my very first corporate leadership failure. 1991, August. The city is Ahmedabad. I'm just 3 months into my first corporate job. I walk into office in the morning and I'm surprised to find that my team members are huddled together and that very worried looks on their face. I got worried, what happened? And immediately I went up and inquired, what happened? Immediately they pounced on me. How can we change our sitting places without consulting us? The context was the day before evening, after everybody had left, I'd interchanged the sitting place of 2 people out of 8. They're nearby. They said, no, I cannot do it. You have to take our permission. I thought they were joking with me. I said, come on, don't have fun in office time. Let's get back to work. They got even more agitated. How can you speak to? Now you have to apologize to us. I also shouted back. What do you mean? Huge commotion in office. The branch manager rushed out of the cabin and asked what happened. I explained. Then he said, wait. He went and talked to them. I don't know what transpired, but then they agreed to resume work. Little did I know that a minor seating change will create such a big ruckus. But that was not all. After that, I was called into the branch manager's office and given a severe reprimand. Asish, you should be able to handle your people, not my job. And if you cannot handle your people, well, the message was loud and clear to me. I felt very insulted and humiliated that day. All alone in an unknown city then. It was perhaps one of the few nights in my adult life that I cried. Let's now revisit that incident and I share my triggers. First, I spoke from the selfish point of view of mine. Whereas I should have understood the situation from their point of view and tried to address their concerns. I failed to communicate. Next, I may have been right, but then I should have realized emotions and sentiments are also very important if you have to work with people. I should have understood my people, understood their sentiments, styles. I should have got their buy-in beforehand before I effected the change. In effect, I failed to build relationships. That incident, and I'll share my evolution triggers to you. First, the manner I spoke. I spoke from my selfish point of view, whereas I should have understood the situation from their point of view and tried to address the concerns. I failed to communicate that day. Next, I may have been right, but then emotions and sentiments of people are very important. I should have understood my people, their emotions, sentiments. I should have got their buy-in before effecting the change. In effect, I failed to build relationships. And despite not being my problem maybe, I should have handled the situation in a calm manner and not let my emotions take me down. Rather, I should have preempted the problems and be prepared. I failed to demonstrate maturity that day. Communication, relationship, maturity, CRM. These have been my evolution triggers. Once I learned to embrace these triggers, there was no stopping me. So much so that now, after continuous implementation and continuous self-learning, I have developed my CRM framework for successfully navigating the dark hole. It is normally said that if you can overcome your fears, you will be successful. But for me, if I can navigate the dark hole, I will be successful. Now there's a lot which has gone into my framework. Let me talk about it in a nutshell today. Communication. Communication is about influencing people and getting the desired results. It is just not language and word skills. It is a psychological game. People will listen to you, believe in you, if you hear them, respect them, make them feel important, and you keep taking consistent, result-oriented actions to their benefit. Communication is in fact a result-oriented actions. It's just made more powerful by words. Relationship. I build the right relationships by understanding people, their aspirations, their style. I adopt to them, I help them to grow. In effect, I'm invested in their growth. That's relationship. And maturity is embracing the I am the problem, I am the solution attitude. You see, in those horrifying days of mine, nobody came to my help. Especially in the 6 months I was jobless, except for mental support from my family. I searched a lot in Kolkata. I could not get a job. And then I was forced to move to another city searching, leaving behind my wife, 5-year-old son, and old parents. I searched a lot before I got a job. It was then that the bitter truth hit me. But if something is affecting you, even if you are not to be blamed or not for you, it is foolish to blame somebody or think that they will solve it for you. No. You have to solve your own problems. And as I think back now, I blame myself for allowing me to become a pawn or not standing up to the finance director. Once my mind was clear that yes, I have to find my own solutions, I worked on different strategies, risk management strategies, worked on my failures, and then I could find a way forward. I have started finding my solutions. CRM. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now ready to navigate the dark hole. And I'm very sure you are too. Thank you.